43 weeks to Madiera. Here I'm checking again in the weekly video diary of my recovery journey back to competitive athletics as a amateur senior athlete competing in the 2025 European Masters Athletics Championship in Madiera that I'm really looking forward to. And today is Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good evening. So I mentioned in my last video how I was going to be training Christmas Day and how that's a really important part of my calendar and mindset. So we're talking a bit about that, how I'm trying to negotiate the eating, drinking and partying of the season, and a bit on optimal sprint mechanics work that I've been doing down at this sports ground here in the south of the Netherlands where I'm for the Christmas season. So many people would say, well, it's really important to be able to rest up, be able to take some holiday away from training. If you do too much training, that's not so good. And that's definitely been true for me for the last week or two. I've certainly been run down, tired, aching and viral. I think a lot of that's been due to under recovery. People talk about overtraining. I like to more think of it as under recovery. I know many other people would say the same. So essentially just not being able to get enough sleep or not enough of a time interval between workouts that are intensely demanding on the muscles or on the nervous system. So that's definitely true. And I am going a bit lighter over this season where I'm away from club and coach and city. However, it's very easy for this season to go from a couple of days of decreased rest that then can quickly become 2 or 3 weeks where not much is done and you've actually not moved forward too fast, you've only just maintained, especially when you have more time away from work and career and things. So about 4 years ago I read an article on the very helpful website t-nation.com called Merry Christmas Bob, and it talks about this guy's experience of being at a Christmas party. Everyone's asking him what he's doing. He says, I work as a fitness instructor, and there's a guy that's drinking a beer that's out of shape and saying, oh yeah, I really want to do that, and comes up with all these excuses why he's not looking after his body and not trying to better himself, and he has this whole big tirade of what he really wants to tell this person in his mind, but he doesn't actually say it. But the tirade is extremely motivational, and reading it every year on Christmas Day amidst the festivities and the religious observance, I've always found it really helpful. And one of the lines that really sticks out is, never mind about the New Year's resolutions, if you were serious about it, you'd be doing it already. So I do try and implement new things in at this time of year, but I start it from not necessarily from Christmas Day. I'll just be more intentional. So later on today I've got Christmas dinner. I've not slept well for the last week. That's been due to some relationship, family stress, and work stresses as well. So I'll enjoy being able to put that aside for a bit and just allow myself to sleep deep. In terms of alcohol consumption, I'm probably going to have a bit less than I've been having because that's been affecting my sleep as well. One strategy that I've used for long periods of time is the 16-year-old UK alcohol law of you're allowed to have beer or wine or cider as long as it's with a meal, with a family, that you can actually be served alcohol as a 16-year-old in the UK under those conditions. And I think that's something that I want to incorporate over this season, is to have maybe one drink of alcohol as long as it's with a meal and as long as it's actually part of a family occasion to help me celebrate that, but also so that there's just to help with the metabolism of that, and so it's not affecting my sleep and things too much. So I'm going to be doing that. What do we do today? So obviously this is week 2 of my 4-week sprint preparatory phase for the indoor meets in January of the 16 to 200. I feel like the 60 metres is going to be in a good place. I'm going to be ready for it. The 200, I'm really quite behind with that, so I was doing some long distance, going out hard for 50, 100 metres or 50, 60 metres, then coasting and then going hard again. So training some of that speed endurance, but not too much too soon. My body really didn't like it, and I'm just going to take a bit of an extra walk around the block here before I head home. So that was really good. I had a training partner today, which was amazing, and yeah, so we're still moving forward towards the goal. I still think the 3 months target of the British Masters Athletics Federation indoor merit standard for the M35 category is not only achievable, but we might even overshoot that, which is good. But for the 200, I really need to work on a bit more speed endurance. So I will be doing that next week again on New Year's Day or the day after. I'll be out on the track. So on track with that. So one of the things that I was doing today was what's called optimal sprint mechanics, or what's been dubbed optimal sprint mechanics, and using a video series by Pete Bonmarito and Mark Megna called the NFL Combine Trainer. So training American football athletes for the Combine, which is essentially a kind of a multi-event competition that's held in March each year for all the American college students that are applying for the NFL. They do their standing long jump, their high jump, their 40-yard dash, and they're essentially training all the exact biomechanics, all the exact energy systems that I'm interested in with these sprints. So I'll put a link to that in the diary notes here. So that involved some very kind of high intensity, almost kind of fast feet type drills, which were really, really good. My whole body feels energised up just now, very ready for the Christmas dinner. So that's been really good. Really enjoyed that today. So looking forward to the next week. Really important for me to get really good sleep. There's a real opportunity here. I'm staying in some nice places with very comfortable beds. I'm going away to a religious retreat house at the start of next week where I always get outstanding sleep. It's called Rostrevor Monastery in Northern Ireland. It's just so quiet and so dark there that will be a really good boost to my system as well, and hopefully come away from that really energised. And yeah, so I've already started to look ahead to the goals for the next block, and my working goal, I'm going to solidify this within the next few weeks, is to achieve a Wilks coefficient of 300 by the end of April this year. That's going to be my kind of strength goal. Then I want to also compete in an event that meets the NCAA, so the North American Universities Athletics Association Division 3 roster standard for their athletics teams in any event. So maybe the 100, maybe the 200, and this would essentially be the level of a squad player in a lower level American university. So that's a really clear, measurable goal. They've got all the times and performances online that you would have to do to get in there. That wouldn't be enough to get a scholarship to an American university, but it would be enough if you were at the university training anyway that you could be part of their team. So very much a kind of squad player, etc. And yeah, that's the goal. And then obviously the other one is to complete an indoor heptathlon. So those are my 3 goals coming up for April. So already starting to think ahead towards those goals. But for now, nothing much else to do. The night's coming in here in the Netherlands. I'm just going to curl up, try to eat in moderation, keep the plates fairly balanced and allow myself a little bit of slack. So peace out, and next week we'll catch up hopefully from Northern Ireland after some insane rest for week 4-2.